start with a start bench sell. And this start bench sell is something that I've been drumming up for quite a while. Normally we do very fun ones and very enjoyable ones, but just so I can introduce this week's start bench sell, because Christopher's here, I'm going to let him go first as well, but I'm going to let the other guys think about it. Start bench sell, Alessandro Del Piero, Raul, and Francesco Totti. Three amazing trequartistas. And for some of our OG listeners as well, we were originally called Friday Night Trequartistas because of a withdrawn forward. That's how a lot of us like playing football, having that freedom on the pitch, which is great to score goals. And that's what Del Piero, Francesco Totti, and Raul all did in world football at the national level and at domestic level as well. So, Christopher, you're going first, my friend. I know there's a very big, obvious one with a Juventus legend in there, but I want to see your thought process with this one. Where are we going?
Shoot. My favorite player is Del Piero. I just want everyone to know this. So it's going to be hard to bench or sell him.
You'll get some money for him in his prime. You'll get some money for him. That's what I'm saying.
You can get money for any of these guys. These guys are top class. I know that Totti could have had to move to Madrid back in the day. But, okay, well,
imagine his price tag now, though. Imagine Totti's price tag in his prime. Unreal.
It'd be insane. All these guys, man. As much as I love all these guys, the one I would have to sell. Actually, I'm going to start off the start. I got to start Del Piero. That's my guy. I can't not start him. Favorite player all time. Can't see a team without him.
On Del Piero, then, Chris, before we move on to your bench and yourself, name us your favorite moment as a Juventus fan. Your number one moment as a Juventus fan for Del Piero.
Favorite moment, honestly,
and it has to be one that you've watched and not something that you've just seen. The actual one that you've seen.
Honestly, my favorite I watched, which was the most emotional to me, was his last game where he scored the free kick goal against. I can't remember who it was against, but then shortly after he got subbed off, and then you could see the fans throwing scarves at him, shirts, everything. You just saw like the love. It was honestly, I almost started crying when I saw that. But
are you gonna cry now?
I know. Yeah, it wasn't his best moment by far, but to me, that just like engraved in my mind, and that shows how much Del Piero meant to this club.
Nicely done.
Yeah, but moving on. I think I'm gonna bench Raul, not because he's the better player, but as you said, the price tag on Totti would be absolutely insane nowadays. And why not build a team around Del Piero? And then build a beautiful team around Del Piero. Have Raul on the bench as a super sub, and then Totti get the cash for Totti.
This is crazy. Because I feel like there's actually not a right answer, but there's quite a few wrong answers with this one. Everyone's going to complain, as you know, Chris. There will be arguments in the comments for days. Sukhi, agree or disagree? What are you saying with this one?
I'm going to disagree because I'm just basing it just on talent. I mean, all three of them are quality, right? It is a hard pick, but I think for me to start off with, I mean, I'll go the other way around. So I probably would sell Raul. And the only reason I'm doing that is because he was part of a Galacticos, because he's kind of cheating in a way. That's the only kind of negativity I'm going to give to that. And then I'll say for bench will be Del Piero. I mean, I was going to say favorite moments. I mean, there was 2 games against Real Madrid in the group stages Champions League. I think it was around 2008 or was it 2009 time? And he was fantastic in those 2 back-to-back games. Honestly, he was brilliant. And there was a couple of free kicks that he scored, absolute worldies. And then start for me is just Totti the boy, because this guy, I mean, talk about loyalty for one team and his love for Rome, but he watching him play as a number 10 was just pure. It was just purity when you're watching him. So I have to start with Totti. But I mean, there's no wrong answers with any of them, to be honest. But yeah, I have to go with the boy Totti because, yeah, he's just different gravy, as they say.
Francesco Totti was someone who, I think, when you describe loyalty, you describe Francesco Totti, because I think he said one time in his life that you can change your wife, but you can never change your football club. And he never actually changed his football club for as long as he played. And one of my favorite Francesco Totti moments, it goes around on social media quite a lot as well, was when I think it was Spalletti as manager at Roma in one of his final seasons when he was a veteran. He was just there on the bench every now and then. He then came on to actually save them and win them a game to get them Champions League qualification as well, because he wasn't being started as much, he wasn't being played as much, but he was still there impacting Roma in a positive manner. And Francesco Totti will always be remembered in that kind of manner as well. So, Joshua, let's hear your thoughts. Start bench sell, Alessandro Del Piero, Francesco Totti, and Raul. Are we going to see the Spaniard come out on top on this one, or is it going to be another Italian at top?
We are, but thanks for that money, log. I can't. I'm selling Totti, but I feel like an idiot now. I'm after the speech you just giving all this social media stuff. Is that really? I'm at the complete opposite of Sukhi. Actually, I'm selling Totti.
Ooh.
I mean, just for the reasons you mentioned there, I'm not going to comment. It's a hard choice, isn't it? I'd go Del Piero bench. Which is tricky. I know, Chris. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I saw that there. I know. Amazing player. But Raul, man, Sukhi talks about him being a Galactico. He was the Galactico, though. You know, I know there was Zidane, I know there was Figo, but he was the ever-present Spaniard leading that line. And before Ronaldo and Messi came and smashed La Liga to bits, he was the goal scorer. He was that guy. You know, he was a real threat for defenders. Outside the box, in the box, he had it all, and just a prone finisher. And for me, I felt he was a better, maybe arguably it's hard to say, probably a better finisher than all three. And just because of that, that's the hardest thing in football, I'm going to start Raul. And to mix it up as well.
Bit of variety there, which is great to see. A few stats on Raul. Is 3-time European Cup champion winner. We had a trip to Madrid, obviously, earlier this summer, and we had so many people saying Raul is over Benzema, Raul over Ronaldo, Raul, and shows the passion of Real Madrid fans in terms of how much Raul actually meant to them. And that 1998 Champions League final, I think it's the 2000 Champions League final where Raul scored, and you're just like, this is insane. Raul did that before the Galacticos came into effect, when Ronaldo was at Inter Milan, when Zidane was at Juventus. Raul was a guy doing it before the Galacticos came in as well, which is great to see. 6-time La Liga champion, 1 Super Cup in the European Super Cup, 2 Intercontinental Cups, and 4 Spanish Super Cups as well, which goes to show how well he did for Real Madrid. But for me, I'm going to have to go for... Oh, this is tough. I don't know if someone's already done this, but this is my way of thinking is I've got to start Del Piero. Alessandro Del Piero is my guy. World Cup winner for Italy. For me, he was the main man in that Italian side in the attack going forward. You had Pirlo, you had Gattuso, you had Totti, you had Del Piero, you had Camoranesi. All these players you list off the tongue, you could play them in FIFA, but you see them in real life and they were legends. And Alessandro Del Piero was a true legend of football and a definite legend of Italian football as well, which is great to see. He also won the Champions League with Juventus in 1996 as well. So that's one of the reasons I have to start, because before they even became one of the biggest and best teams in European football, not just Italian football. Before, they were just incredible. 6-time Italian champion for Alessandro Del Piero as well. I'm going to have to sell Raul, because I think with Francesco Totti, if I needed someone to partner Del Piero properly up front as well, but Del Piero and Totti up front, the World Cup winning combination in 2006, they were incredible in the late 90s, early 2000s together, and they had amazing strikers together. And you had Castano somewhere there as well. So Castano was always a backup striker to these guys as well. So Chris, you've got a great way of introducing yourself into this podcast with the start bench style. So I'm glad you've come in the right way, which is great to see. But yeah, starting Del Piero, benching Totti, and selling Raul in this case as well. But great job, everyone, in talking about your top 3 Trequartistas in this week as well.